guidance in a world of uncertainty. Within our universe, a mighty star shines bright over us and reflects itself to enlighten our darkness. It is from that star that our very molecules are born, boundless and bright. That mighty star commands a universe of stars that bear witness to our history and are attached to our ideas of the future. In these stars, we find our beginnings. In these stars, we learn.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of In the Stars with Dwayne and our end of the month mashup with Stacy, the Black Feather Intuitive. Hi, Stacy.
Hey, Dwayne. How's it going?
Great. I'm so excited for this. It's such a great time of the year. Astrologically, we're in a really good place. Right now, this is all about manifestation, woman-manifestation, whatever you are, they-festation. And it's such a great time. So everybody, just overall, just start dreaming and start putting your wishes out there because it's going to come to you if you really focus on it. How are you feeling these days?
Oh my goodness. Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm excited. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling all of that newness energy. And with the full moon yesterday, I'm sleepy. I've not been sleeping well up to the full moon. Lots of sleep disturbance, which, that kind of disruption is not unusual for me.
Yeah.
But having a little more, like whenever these astrological moments are more pronounced, the lack of sleep is more pronounced. But yesterday I actually slept a full night, woke up, did a bunch of things, and then needed to take a nap before our session today because I was just like, okay. And I think I might take a nap after our session before I start with clients too.
I'm feeling the same way.
If it helps you sleep and you need a full moon, I'll send you a picture. You could blow it up and put it on your wall. You'll have a full moon every night.
The dark side of the moon.
But that's the kind of full moon I'm looking for.
Stacy, did you just hear what he just said to me?
What did you say, Dwayne?
I said the dark side of the moon.
I don't know that the dark side of the moon or the light side of the moon or any side of the moon that you're implying is going to help you to sleep, actually. The opposite. So
yeah.
So can we talk about the effects of, because it was on everybody's, brains and not everybody's mind, and heavily talked about because everybody gets excited when there's an eclipse coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
The eclipse coming. That day, I got all wrapped up into it too, and then it's like, it happened.
Well, I was in the path of the complete, Cleveland was like the spot. Everybody ended up coming here. It was packed. You couldn't drive anywhere. It was nuts. Luckily, from our backyard, we were able to see it perfectly. And there is such a thing as sickness that comes from eclipse, a full eclipse. And I didn't get it, but my partner did. The neighbors did. They got dizzy. They had to sit down. It was really crazy. And but it was a really amazing thing because what comes from that astrologically is, one, it's the part of your life that you are kind of controlling. You're kind of like mothering, that comes from the moon is the mothering. The sun is where, you are trying to create your life and what you believe you should have and be and do and all of those things. So everything kind of came into focus and moved on. Then we've had, recently on the 21st, we had the Jupiter conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. So all of this kind of stuff together is really wild. It's all about creation of what you desire, what you believe that is worth or what you believe you deserve in life, and all of it kind of happening at once. And I've been feeling tired too, Stacey. I've been feeling like just like everything is sucked out of me, and emotionally, career-wise, everything you can think of is just being maxed out. So that's what this is all about. All of this kind of stuff, the effects that it's having on people is kind of like, it's a new world. It's a whole new. And then the Jewish thing, the Kabbalah just had its Passover, and what that is leaving everything behind and starting brand new. So it all is kind of working together right now. So everybody should really be thinking about all the crap that you don't want, leave it behind, start brand new. You're starting from scratch, and it's the perfect place to be.
It's like,
Yeah.
so it's like the In the Stars with the Wayne show. I need to leave that crap behind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I hope not.
No, I never do. Never, never.
I've had so much release in my life lately, so many things moving and shaking. It's interesting, Dwayne, that you're mentioning all of that, because I really do feel, I talk about this a lot with certain clients. We're always in a state of transformation, and sometimes we're moving out of one chapter into another chapter. But I feel like where we're at collectively right now is we're moving from one volume to the next volume.
Yeah.
So it's not just a chapter, it's like big chunks of your life
Mm-hmm.
where you want to really review and evaluate how far you've come, what you've created, who you've become, because that is what is being left behind. And
Yeah.
it's not even that, like, I want to say, I believe that we all have free will. And at the same time, we all have a particular divine blueprint that we came into this life to live.
Mm-hmm.
And in that divine blueprint, there are, I want to say, if we think of it from the archetype, from the architectural perspective, there are structural walls and structural foundation that cannot be messed with, without severe consequence. Like you've got the internal walls that you can, knock down and take out and move around and shift your original ideas with. But then these are the themes that you came here to learn. And these are the experiences that are coming into your life now to help you get there and to sort of keep you on track. I feel like we're at one of those like structural wall moments where it's like, okay, we can't tear this down. We have to work with this. This is important. This is significant. And whatever we create from this particular point is what is going to nurture us, support us, sustain us, or not
Mm-hmm.
moving forward, because we cannot any longer say that we are the same, and I'm speaking individually as well as collectively. I mean, COVID was the great reset. And, while we would like to linearly think, okay, we had that couple of years of jumble and now we're good to go. And each year we can build on the next. Well, sure, we can, but we're still in the big wave of what the chain reaction basically that COVID started. And I feel like this eclipse season in particular really signified, this is the end, my beautiful friend, the
Mm-hmm.
end. And you have no choice now but to create the new. You can try to create yourself in the same way, and hats off to you, but the collective is no longer the same. It can no longer go backwards. It can only move forward.
It's true. And globally, even if you look right now, yesterday there was a woman on talking about the new age of computers. Everything is changing over the next year into supercomputers. And I had no idea what that meant until she explained it. What it means is every computer and every system we've been using up to this point has been maybe 1/100th of the power that these supercomputers are going to have. So that means over the next year to 5 years, we're going to start to see all that stuff we used to think that the year 2000 with the flying cars and all that, that's starting now.
Well,
All
there's
of
Yes.
that is starting now because of computing power is going from 1 to 100, exponential growth.
there's
It's going to
two
be
things
crazy.
to that. One, she's also being a little facetious. So they always have, especially in governmental use in some sectors, things about 5 years before society has it, right? So like when computers were popping in society, they had already been using it. So society is always going to be a little behind with the supercomputing. Also think about this. Someone also talked about this. We're 200 years behind where we're supposed to be in technological advancement because of the Middle Ages, where the church suppressed scientific exploration and innovation. Imagine if that period didn't happen and we were 200 years ahead of where we're supposed to be right now. But before we get into a history lesson, we have a newbie here. And so, on the show, people ask for guidance, a reading, or a horoscope. But since she is new, it's her first time. It's Mina. Welcome, Mina. And Mina would like a reading from Stacy. And she would also, we're going to give her, since she's first time here and she's first in line, we're going to give her a horoscope from Dwayne. And Dwayne, her birthday is 8/12. So August 12th is her birthday.
Awesome. You want to go ahead first, Stacy?
I can if you'd like. Sure. So, welcome, Mina. We're so excited to have you joining us today, and we get up to all sorts of nonsense and shenaniganery here on in the Stars with Dwayne. We have a lot of fun. So, hopefully, you have a really really great or maybe offbeat sense of humor, because that's what we bring to the table here. And, seeing as how we were sort of speaking about the eclipse and this idea that it's a complete reset and that we are now, in that space of reviewing who we've been, saying goodbye to it with love and gratitude and respect and honor, and really moving forward into that new energy, we're going to pull a card for you today to see what energy you can use to, I want to say, maximize this particular energy that you're in. Now, eclipse season typically lasts anywhere from 6 months to a year after, sort of that initial season occurs. What I'm going to focus on today for you is how you can harness that energy right now based on where you're at and what's kind of coming up for you. Oh, beautiful. And you've got the reflection card, which is also in the traditional tarot. It's the Hermit card. That was Mr. Neo coming to say hello to you, give you his cat butt of approval. So you're in like Flynn now. So this is from the Starseed, Syrian Starseed Tarot deck. And what I'm feeling here is, we were just talking about being reflective, but the Hermit card also really symbolizes that self-awareness journey. It's the kind of journey that you can't really do with anybody else because it's deeply personal. It's an intimate experience, getting to know the self. And I'm hearing for you in particular, there's been a lot of focus on you understanding how your divine masculine and your divine feminine, we have both of those things within us, are needing to coalesce in this new version of Mina. And I feel like what I keep hearing is, don't overthink it. You like to do a deep dive. You like to go within and really think about things and feel into things. But sometimes you can get caught up in the, I want to say the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like sometimes we can get so caught up in something that we go so dark and so deep that we can't kind of pull ourselves out of it. And then we forget that we're actually enjoying that, when really the joy, we can gain so much more joy from, getting out of it on the other side of it. So I feel like for you, this deep reflection space is inviting you to feel into it, but to keep it not surface level, but to keep it more from the perspective of, let me gather what it is that I'm going to take with me. And I'm not going to get caught up in all the rest of it, because all the rest of it is already integrated. I don't need to pack a bag. It's already right there with me. I'm also hearing that this next sort of solar cycle for you, so this next year, is really going to be prominently about how you are communicating that divine masculine and divine feminine blend within you. I feel that you're very action oriented, very much out there, living large and in charge. And nothing wrong with that at all. What I'm hearing is there's going to be more of a balance coming through, but it's a balance that is coming through from you. It's like your initiative for it, that you're starting to reflect on. Maybe I don't need to try to let people know what my value and worth is so succinctly. Maybe I can choose the divine feminine path rather than the divine masculine path of that, being very open, and I'm going to give you everything that I have. And I definitely feel a lot of that energy with you. You're a people pleaser. You're all in. You want to help people. You want to really expand in those areas. And the challenge for you, and challenge in a good way for you this year, is to learn how to do that in more of the divine feminine aspect of yourself, and allowing the divine masculine to be in the passenger seat. So not completely inactive, but I want to say, what's the word? Consulting rather than actually doing the driving. So you're going to start to notice that the self-awareness journey is going to take you in some different places externally with other people, because you're living and walking and breathing and talking the hermit's journey through the aspect of the divine feminine. Wow, girl, I just got a whole big download for you with that. Very, I call this, very esoteric, very woo-woo, where that's concerned. So I hope it makes some sense to you. And Dwayne, I know you're going to be able to bring some of the practical to that.
Yeah, well, Leo's right now, it's actually, it's funny because the sign of Leo, many times people see it as the me sign, like, oh, it's all about me, I'm the star, this kind of thing. At this time, you as a Leo might be finding that you're putting a lot of energy into other people. That may be your job, to help other people. But right now, it's really important that you do focus on yourself, that you do actually put a lot of effort and thought into what is necessary for you. So, and that should come pretty easily to a Leo, because your whole life is about reflecting on who am I? What do I do in this world? Why do I do it? How do I affect other people? That kind of stuff. So it really is important that you really focus on that, and that feminine energy, that divine energy that Stacy was talking about, is surrounding you right now, especially because of what's going on astrologically. There is, the sun is your ruling planet, your ruling uh, thing that's out in the universe, and that was just covered by the moon because of the eclipse, and you probably felt it stronger than most other people might. And so what that means is that you may have been doing some thoughts recently about, where should I move forward in my life? What changes should I make? Because, like we were talking about earlier, the whole point of this whole time right now is letting go of the past and starting the future. So your mind is wrapped around that, and it needs to be right now. So don't think, oh, I'm being selfish by thinking about myself, I'm not doing enough for other people, that kind of thing. Right now, that's what you're supposed to be doing. If it lasts beyond May, then you might start to think about, maybe I need to start thinking about other people a little bit more. But take this time for yourself. This is the time to do it. Also, when it comes to relationships, if you're in a relationship right now, that can be hard to take time for yourself, especially when that other person is hoping that you will kind of think of them. But if they really feel a love for you and they want you to do well, they're going to give you that time to do that. If not, that's the time to rethink, is this the right relationship for me? It all comes back to you, Leo. So do that. And Leos right now, don't let anybody mess with your hair. And if you know a Leo, you'll know, don't mess with their hair unless you want to get messed up, okay? So And your power color, Leo, is gold. So if you want to wear some gold, if you have an interview coming up, something like that, you want power, your power color is gold. So keep that in mind. Jewelry, clothing, backgrounds, all of that kind of stuff. So and if you're not in a relationship right now, then good. Stay away from it. Don't think about it. Just think about yourself and the relationship that you have with yourself. So I hope that gives you some insight, Mina.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm seeing here. She said it's not the right relationship for me right now. So you hit
Ah,
it
okay,
right on
yeah.
the head, Wayne. Fantastic.
See that?
so that's amazing. We have, of course, we got our first three people in the barrel, and I love that we have new people today because Angeli, we'll get to her in a second. She's also new, so we're going to give her both, and then Katie is just going to want guidance. So when we do Angeli, we'll let Stacy go first so she can get her breath, and then you'll go after her, Dwayne. But one of the things that you said in there was taking pride in yourself. You know, I took myself to the movies Sunday, and I was talking to a friend. We're taught as we're growing up that if you think about yourself, you're being selfish, you
Mhm.
know, and so people tend not to put themselves first. And we're learning that no, sometimes you have to put yourself first. You can't always put everybody first. And I think if you get rid of that teaching of you being selfish when you think about yourself, you feel so much better about life. You guys have any comments on that?
Yeah, I'm all about the practicing the self-care. I talk a lot about the love cup. You know, where is your love cup, and you know, where is it at in terms of is it half full? Is it empty? Is it full and overflowing? Ideally, we want it to always be full and overflowing, because if it's full and overflowing, you have plenty of energy to invest in other people, places, and things out in the world. And you're right, we were taught to put our needs last, you know, to put our needs on the back burner. I mean, I've met the individuals who I like to say we're lucky enough, but that's a judgment on that placed on that too. But we're lucky enough to have their parents' attention, and the world revolved around them, and they, you know, grew up in, you know, pretty normal sort, well, what is normal, but pretty normal, you know, experiences. And that was not the case for me. And so I had to really come back from the depths to understand that I am worthy and deserving of the same, you know, the air that I breathe and the space that I take up as everybody else on this planet. So, you know, when we talk about that love cup that's in there, and where we source our energy, when we are in service to others, when we are, you know, engaging with others, and that kind of thing, it's a great time right now to take a look and say, is it in disrepair? Is it cracked? Is it leaking? Are there holes in the bottom of it? You know, am I constantly just filling it up a little bit? You know, it's like going to the gas station and just putting $10 worth of gas in the car. You're going to be visiting the gas station all the time and not getting anything done, because you're constantly, you know, you go down the road and that $10 is gone, right? So it's really about saying, I am worthy and deserving. And I have a lot that I wish to offer to others. And I have a lot that I want to give, and a lot that I would like, or I choose to invest in other people. I have to have it first in order to be able to invest it. And so it's a shifting of how it's a paradigm shift. It's how we choose to, putting ourselves first is actually the greatest act of love that we can give to those that we love, because then we have plenty to give back in return.
Yeah, it's like RuPaul says, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else?
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it's true that you know, people, you know, if you've been in a codependent relationship, you find that, hey, it might feel comfortable, but it doesn't do either of the people any good. When two people who are fully themselves come together and are individual and strong within themselves, they make a bigger situation, a better situation. You don't want to be sucking the life out of another person and have them sucking the life out of you. All it does is create a lot of issues.
Yeah, very, very true.
You know what the doorbell means. We have a
Ah,
guest.
we've got hi, Kathy.
Hi.
Hello,
It's
how are you?
Kathy.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. You look very summery and very devil may care.
Well,
It's awesome.
I'm sitting in my car outside the hospital.
Well,
she
you're working it. You're making it look really good.
she's hoping an old rich man with wires coming out of him will walk out and fall in
Yeah,
love.
yeah. I'm looking. Oh, there's one now. That's funny.
Well, welcome, Kathy. So you want a reading?
Yes, please.
All right.
Um,
What's your
so
birthday?
yeah.
July 12th.
Okay, so you're a Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
So, all right. Well, I'll start then. So for cancers right now, since we're in the time of Taurus, we're kind of getting out of Aries and in Taurus. So you are a water sign in the time of Earth. Right now is a really tough time for you because in the world, and what we were talking about was that this is a time for manifestation, a time for making things that you want happen. For you, it's hard to see the practical side of the manifestation thing. Like right now, you might be having a hard time seeing your own dreams coming true, your own wishes being able to come true, because you may feel like they're just way out of reach. It's not practical. It's not reality to think, oh, I can wish for something and that it can come to me. But it is the perfect time for that. So you really have to get over that problem of it's not practical to think about that and actually put your all of your energy into that. And that means not just having one dream, one thought that's kind of like an overreaching thought. You've got to be really detailed about what you want. I want a job that's like this. I want a partner that's like this. I want everything that you want has to be in detail. And then you can't say, oh, please give it to me, or I want it. You have to literally say to the universe, thank you for this
right. Like I
job
already
that
have
I
it.
want. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Thank you for it, like you already have it. And it now is the time when it will come to you. So that's the best
Awesome.
thing you can do. Also, you want to really take care of your skin. Cancers right now, cancers have the driest skin of any of the signs. So you really have to really extra
I
moist.
do.
Yeah, you really have to moisturize a lot, because with the sun coming out, you're spending more time outside. Make sure you moisturize, drink a lot of water, and really keep yourself healthy so that when these manifestations come through, you can enjoy them and you're not dry.
Not dry and crackly. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that helps you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Kathleen, I pulled a card for you, and I'll just kind of piggyback off of what Dwayne was saying. I haven't looked at the card yet, but let's talk about how you can apply that. I feel, Dwayne, like what you were kind of saying really is about worthiness.
Hmm.
I am worthy to have all of these things now, and that's the block, is that I'm somehow feeling like I'm waiting for permission to be able to have all these things because I haven't seen it manifest in the physical recently. So I'm doubting the veracity of it. And I'm seeing that it happens for others, but not me. So therefore I go into that, well, maybe it's because I'm not worthy. So this card will talk about what you need to do to use it. Okay, this is really cool. You got the tower, and the tower is a shift in perspective. So for you, it's recognizing it's not even so much thank you, universe. That's important. We always need to be in gratitude. But I always like to say, universe, I command and demand that this show up in my life, in my world, because I am a sovereign being and it is my birthright to have this, whatever it is that I'm manifesting. And the tower is always an indicator that there's something that you've been hanging on to for too long, that the universe has been trying to get you to move on it and you haven't been moving on it. And so what happens is the universe, I call it the universal frying pan to the head. The universe kind of says, okay, well, we gave you a breadcrumb here and a breadcrumb there, and you chose to ignore it and go a different way. And then we dropped the full pieces of bread, and then we finally dropped the loaf, and you're still not getting it. Now it's the thing. And then you're like, oh crap, there's nothing else I can do here. I have no choice but to stop what I'm doing and course correct. So I feel like the tower's coming up for you because it's the loaf of bread that's being dropped on you right now. We could do the universal frying pan to the head. That's what's next. But you have the choice right now to say, actually, no, okay, I command and demand these things in my life because I am worthy of these things in my life. And I'm not going to let anyone or anything, especially myself and my own fears, my own concerns, block me from what it is that I'm opening myself to receiving. So I feel like this is one of those, it's not like a tough love message. I feel like it's more of a like mama bear message for you to get into mama bear mode about yourself, being extra protective of no, this isn't right. This is right. And I want my kid, I want my inner kid to have this experience, and nobody's going to get in the way of that inner kid having that experience. So, and talking about the inner kid, I feel like there is some inner child stuff that's coming up for you right now too, that is going to be a bit, like at first you're going to say, OMG, this again? When am I going to be through this? When am I going to be over it? Why am I going around the freaking merry-go-round again? But what I'm feeling for you is when this comes up for you, what you want to say to it is, you're coming up finally, this final time, because I don't have to do anything with you other than to just let you go. I'm letting it go and I'm moving forward. I'm literally not allowing the rumination cycle to happen anymore. I'm simply saying I'm done with this in this form. And this is how I'm choosing to see it. This is how I'm choosing to enact it. I keep hearing you're going to rewrite a story for yourself. So the analogy I'll use here is, you had a childhood incident where your mother did not show up in the ways that you wished that she could have shown up. And it bothers you to this day, and you don't know how you can let it go because it happened so many years ago and your logical mind is going, enough already, but you still fit into that. The key here is rewrite the story. Rewrite it in such a way that it happened the way you wanted it to. Here's what happened. My mom walked in the room and she saw me on stage and she cried tears of happiness and joy. She was so shocked and so surprised and she was so proud of me. And she wrote me this beautiful letter and, off into the sunset we rode. Whatever it happens to be, even though it's not true, it's not what happened, it's giving yourself what you need to be able to let it go and move on. Because there's a clinging you're clinging so tightly to it and you don't realize it. It's like, I have to let it go. I have to release it and not think about it ever again. So rewrite the story. I feel like if you're not experiencing that right now, it's in the realm of now. So it's going to be happening in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And the key is to not say, oh my God, I got to deal with this again. What did I miss? Now I got to go down the rabbit hole. No, you don't. It's, you're here for the 57th time. Thank you. Here's how I'm rewriting you. And here's how I'm reshaping and reforming you so that I can let you go and move on. And you'll feel a dramatic shift when that occurs. And you'll know, I'm never going to have to revisit this again. This feels amazing. So I hope that makes sense to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, that's because you're evil.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye, Kathleen.
Bye.
Oh my God. Yeah. Stacy, thank God you're here because, when I do his, it's all pre-recorded, so I don't have to sit here with him live on my own. I love him so much, though.
Yeah. Did I mention Geminis are going to shit their pants in public this week?
You're already late. I got drunk Monday and it already happened. So.
See?
And this is why you do horoscopes and not psychic, because Stacy would have told me already.
See? Yeah, I tell people after it happened.
She said she had something to tell me important the other day, and she kept calling me, and I was busy. Is that what you had to tell me, Stacy?
Yeah, you got me. You caught me. You caught me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mina said a lot of responses that I hope you guys saw.
Yeah.
One of the things that she said, I think Stacy pointed out, she says, I'm too busy putting others first. It's me time. That's, and don't wait too late, everybody. A lot of us, we wait way too late. Once we get 50, that's when we want to put ourselves first. You don't have to wait that long to do that. And then Jocelyn, thank you for being so welcoming to all the new people. Love you, love you, love you, love you
Yes.
for that. She says, welcome, Angeli and Katie. And speaking of Angeli and Katie, she's going to be our last one today.
So
Unless, Mhm.
before we bring her on, I just want to comment on, because you've said it twice, the like, and I like your comment about you don't have to wait until you're 50 to make these
Mhm.
changes. I also want to throw out there that we arrive at things in exactly the right way and pace that we are individually ready to arrive at things. So there's this idea, Keone, you said it earlier, I think it was when you were talking about the eclipse, that something about why couldn't I have gotten here sooner, or why does it always happen, why am I forget exactly what it was you said, but I think it's important for each of us to also understand, because a lot of us are so driven with this idea that, oh, I should have gotten this 10 years sooner, or I should have been here 10 years sooner. And it's putting a lot of pressure on yourself. It's implying that you're doing life wrong. And I'm going to say to you right now, you're not doing life wrong. The right or wrong is a judgment that we place on things. The soul is having its experience, the soul is living its life and running into choices every single day, and just making choices and learning from all of it, having the experience from all of it. It's not saying, oh, I would have rather had this experience than that experience. It's saying, wow, I just had this amazing experience, and let me sit in it. Let me, revel in it and dance in it, and figure out how it's going to add to my already magnificent, majestic self. So I encourage people to also consider, not saying, Keone, that you're wrong, just saying, here's another perspective, that you're always exactly where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And it's a human, I don't know what the word is, human idea, it's like driven, that, well, if only I had done this sooner, if only I had made this other choice. Okay, if only, but the point is, we're always in our now. So you're now having the experience, whether you're 50 or 500 or 5, you're having that experience right now, exactly when the soul is ready to receive it. So I guess what I just want to say is, I want to empower everyone. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel always like you're behind the 8 ball, because you're noticing other people around you who got it sooner than you did. We're all on our own little soul journeys. We're all here to learn different things, and none of us really knows what that is exactly. So don't be so hard on yourself.
And if you get into that mindset, a great mantra that I use all the time is, everything is as it should be always. And
Oh,
that
okay. I
is a
was
great.
expecting you to say something really, really crass and humorous. I was like bracing myself for what you were going to say, but I love that. That's
Well,
a
I
beautiful.
also like to say go fuck yourself, but that one helps too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you
but
repeat it again? Can you repeat it again?
you know what happens when you get that perspective, though? It's, all of these things are relative to, like, when people used to ask the hypothetical, if you had a time machine, what would you go back and tell yourself, or what would you go back and change? And there's two answers to that. If you're not unhappy with who you are now and where you are, you answer that question with the things you'd go back and change. If you're happy with who you are and where you are now, you don't change anything, because then you're not going to be who you are now. And it's the
Exactly.
same thing with kind of what we're talking about. You realize those things when you're happy in your space and who you are. That's when you know to put yourself first. Sometimes that's when you know all the things that Stacy and Dwayne just talked about. What you don't get into the why me, why is this uh, realm when that happens. So a lot of it has to do with that H word, happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, happy. And sometimes we have to create our own happiness. Sometimes you got to be happy with yourself. Now, that doesn't work for me. I try to hang out with myself and I get on my damn nerves. So it doesn't work out for me.
I can relate.
The well said from Mina was not for me. It was for Stacy and Dwayne. Mina also says I need to practice those techniques. So the techniques that you guys were giving out early. And of course, Jocelyn thinks Dwayne saying go fuck yourself is hilarious.
It is.
We had another new person on today, and now I have to go back and find Angeli. Angeli is a Virgo, and since she's our last person, we're going to give her. We had three new people today, and we gladly gave them both. So everybody who's listening, the last Wednesday of every month, noon, we're on here live with In the Stars with Dwayne and the Black Feather Intuitive. We normally give you pick a reading, guidance, or a horoscope to give, especially when we have a lot of people on. But today we had three new people, and we want you guys to have a good experience. So we're going to give you both. So whichever you two want to take a stab at it first. Angeli is a Virgo, and she would like some guidance.
Well, Stacy's a Virgo, so I think you should go first because you've
Oh,
got.
okay. I was just going to say, well, I've just been talking my all of your ears off, so you go first. But that's fine. I will pull a card for Angeli or Angeli. Welcome. So excited to have you and fellow Virgo. I always like connecting with fellow Virgos. You know, we are very much about the service of life to others, and I don't know if you're like this, like I am. I think some of this is I have Libra rising. I love the finer things in life as well. Like I like to really sink my teeth into great food and great wine and pretty things in a pretty environment. So I think it just makes the human experience all that more enticing, makes it a little more worthwhile. So I'm going to pull a card for you. And let's focus today for you on, I want to say, sort of that Taurus season and the Taurus energy, because that's what we're in right now. And I feel like whenever you're in another earth sign, there's a lot that you can really accomplish if you are, I want to say, focused on the right things. So let's just see what comes up for you. Oh, beautiful. 10 of orbs. 10 of orbs. So orbs in this deck is swords. So this is the 10 of swords. And I love this card because it is rebirth. It is the phoenix. And we could say, not phoenix rising. I actually equate this to sort of the phoenix burning phase, in that I see for you that you've got so much clarity around one particular dynamic in your life that you're recognizing, I've outgrown this. This, in the form that it's in, can no longer maintain and sustain me. And I need to do something about it. Either I'm cutting it loose, releasing it entirely and moving on, or I'm investing the time and the effort into reshaping and reforming it. This dynamic feels like a relationship with another person. So it's not a relationship with self. It's not a relationship with your environment or a job. It feels like it's with another person. And what I'm feeling for you here in this next month with this sort of Taurian energy is you're going to really be able to see yourself at that different level. It's kind of like waking up from the dream and realizing, oh, taking like the rose-colored glasses off and saying, oh, this is actually what it's been all about. And when you get that clarity, you recognize, okay, I've learned the lesson and I'm ready for that next new thing. I also keep hearing, when you cut yourself loose from something this month, what's going to happen is, as we can see, like everything is bubbling up to the surface. Mr. Neo's coming over to say hi. It's bubbling up to the surface. So like you're being released so that you can rise. And I'm feeling on a spiritual level, And I feel like a psychic level, you're going to receive, it's either receiving a new gift, unlocking a new gift, a new psychic gift, or you're going to the next level of whatever your primary mode of receiving is. So like if you're clairvoyant, I feel like the visions are going to be, so much clearer, so much more pronounced for you. If you're clairaudient, you're going to hear things more clearly, crystal clear like a bell. So when whatever you decide to do with this particular dynamic, when you do it, I feel like this new sort of psychic awareness is going to creep up for you, and you're going to kind of go, "Oh my God, like I've just walked through the portal. I'm in another layer, another level, another land, and oh, the places I'll go. I'm ready for that next restart, and I'm not looking back at what is no longer serving me, what's dead, done, and gone and over with." And I want to say to you, I don't even know that you're necessarily going to feel the energy of grief around this either, because the grief has been occurring in little hunks and chunks throughout this particular experience or this particular dynamic. So I also have this feeling of, when you get to that level, there's such freedom that you're not even looking back. You're just completely moving forward and excited about the newness of it, and reflective of the process that it took to get you there, but not in a space that keeps you 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You're all in to that next layer. So yeah, effervescence, bubble up, rise up into whatever shows up for you. That feels really exciting.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, actually, I'm having a lot of thoughts about Virgo right now. Virgo, first of all, I have to tell you that if you believe that you are hearing people's thoughts or you're able to understand what people are feeling and thinking, it's true. Don't discount that. That's huge right now. Secondly, love at first sight is something that you actually probably believe in, and you should, because right now, if you're not in a relationship and you're looking to be in one, the next couple of weeks is going to be huge possibility for that. And if you're going to someone's birthday party, that person might be great, because a Taurus is great for a Virgo. Two earth signs that understand practicality, but yet loving and living life. As a Virgo, you understand also exquisiteness. You love beautiful things that are exquisite, and you're able to tell the difference. You're able to categorize things, you're able to critique things and people. And one of the things that you should keep in mind is that for the next few weeks as well, everything in your life has an ability to be creative for you. Your ability to create things and create outcomes and create actual things, tangible things, is going to be very heightened. So whether it's making some food for your friends or your family, or creating an art piece or a piece of jewelry or whatever it is, that is going to be coming very easy to you over the next few months, or I'm sorry, few weeks. And you, as a Virgo, your stomach, your nervous system is heightened as well right now. So be aware of that. You may be feeling stomach issues, you may be feeling anxiety, those types of things. Allow it to settle and allow yourself to get through it, and things should be good. Don't allow this creative, all this kind of stuff that doesn't seem very practical. It's more kind of out there, and don't allow it to be out there and non-tangible. Allow it to really enter you and use your abilities to the best of your ability, and things are going to be really good for you, I think, over the next couple of weeks. So I hope that gives you some insight into your immediate future.
That's awesome, Dwayne. And Angeli, I apologize, not sure how to pronounce your name. Thank you for being a Virgo, because I just got a reading too. Like, I'm like, oh my God, that fits. Like, I'm in the process of creating a new offering for my following, and it's like I'm usually like full speed ahead with all of this, but it's just been coming in hunks and chunks. And I actually had a moment where I was like, maybe I need to just let it go. And you saying, no, this is the process, is
Yeah.
let it go into you. You have to have that visceral experience with it in order to actually bring it to tangibility. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
Virgos, it's all about the gut. If you feel it in your gut, it's gonna be, it's gonna work. So
Yeah. And it was interesting that you were talking about sort of stomach issues and issues where that's concerned. I'm on a kind of a health journey right now where I'm shifting, not like shifting, I guess I am. I'm shifting my eating patterns, but I mean, it's not like I go in cycles, and for me, I love food too much, right? So it's portion control. But in this instance, what I'm noticing, and you mentioning the astrology of it makes perfect sense. Whereas for the last several months, I have not felt like it's been a struggle to make some of those shifts. I'm not feeling the struggle so much. It just feels more like, okay, this is right, and this is what my body wants, and my mind is aligned with what my belly wants, which doesn't happen very often. So I'm like, okay, I'll take advantage of this. This is working for me. I'll take it.
yeah, and this time of Taurus, because it's an earth sign, you're going to feel right at home. And then when we get into Gemini, things are going to go right up to the head, and things are going to be all about analyzing and deciding and all of that kind of stuff. So this is a great time for Virgos. And Katie's a Virgo too. Lots
Oh,
of
awesome. Well, isn't that so funny how we can, this happens with my other shows too, where, you want to be able to read for everyone, but you only get to like 2 or 3 people. And then there's something in those readings for everyone. Everyone
yeah,
that's watching, there's always something that they're
yeah,
going to be able to take from that. So
yeah.
that's awesome. I love that.
Guys,
Well,
let's tell them. So, guys, we're here with In the Stars with Dwayne, and we're here with the Black Feather Intuitive. So we always have a mixed crowd on the mashup. So, Dwayne, tell them where they can find you to see when you do horoscopes.
yeah, well, we do, In the Stars with Dwayne on Keone Productions every month. And like you said, at the end of the month, we do these mashups, but we also do readings bi-monthly. And so you can check me out there. You can also go to dwaynelive.com to find out everything else that I'm doing. So I'm everywhere.
You're everywhere. Yeah, Dwayne has 2 videos a month that comes out on Wednesdays.
Mhm.
They're pre-recorded. They're pretty cool, and he talks about the astrology for the month, but he also includes people who aren't in that month. And where do we find the amazing things about you, Stacy, or acquire your service for people who want a little deeper, and more personal reading from you and guidance?
Yeah, thank you. Well, first of all, I just want to say I enjoy watching your videos, Dwayne, and they always make me giggle. And I love that the guidance, like I always listen for my sun, moon, and rising.
Yeah.
And I love that I can watch the entire video in under 10 minutes. And I say this, and of course, like brevity is not my strong suit. So like me being able to make a statement in less than 10 minutes is like a freaking miracle. And I so appreciate that in you because I love watching it. I'm like, okay, I got what I needed to get. And it's always on point and it makes me giggle. And
Oh,
so,
thank you.
yeah, anyone who is watching this, you guys should really watch his horoscopes because they just brighten your day. They're awesome. So yeah, Stacey the Black Feather Intuitive. I always have 50 billion different things going on. The thing that I'll talk about today is I'll talk about 2 things. First of all, if you like what you see here, feel free to consider joining my completely free Black Feather community. It's a community of like-minded, like-hearted souls that I offer through the Mighty Network. And it's a great place. We do a gathering of phoenixes every single month, and it's just a gathering of people like us who, we don't always have a safe place to talk about these things, and we feel like we're on an island. And, how do I meet my soul tribe? How do I meet people that I can talk about what it's like to be a star seed or what it's like to be a light worker or, to talk about this astrology stuff without the people in my life looking at me like I got 10 heads or condescending. They're there. Oh, aren't you cute? this is a great place to really be able to talk about all things metaphysical. And we always have really interesting discussions. My social anxiety always amps up right before we go on, and I'm like, oh my god, what are we going to talk about, and is it going to be okay, and like, are people going to show up? And every month we have even more than we had the month before. The topics that come up are always really fascinating, and people are engaging with it. So would love to have you guys there. The other really important thing that I'm releasing this month is unlock your psychic power. So if you ever wondered, I would like to be psychic, or I think I've got some psychic gifts, but I'm not really sure how to access them, you're going to want to check this out. I'm doing a course. It's happening June, it's 2 weekends, June 1st and 2nd, and then June 8th and 9th. And it's a course in combination with the Camadon Academy. It's called the Melchizedek Method. And it's freaking mind blowing. I mean, this energy healing modality changed my life. And I'm now able to, you have to go through all the freaking hoops to be able to teach it. And I'm finally there, able to teach it. And so I've got that stuff going on. And Keone, I don't think I sent you anything on that, but you can go to my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com, and go under, I think it's under a book a session, and you'll see the unlock your psychic powers. It's going to be incredible. It's literally game changing. So I'd love to see you guys there if you're ready to unlock your gifts.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for our people who chimed in and got readings today. Don't forget, it's every last Wednesday of the month. And tune in next month. Keep looking up, everybody.
Love it. Ciao.